Hi guys, it's Karen. Welcome back to my garden. It's the middle, well nearly the end of June now actually, so it has been a little bit longer since I did my last video, and the reason for that is it hasn't stopped raining since then. This is basically the first week that we've had some nice weather since I did the last video at the end of May, and that has had a knock-on impact on the garden actually. So there's been way more snails than usual this year, and they've absolutely destroyed loads of my plants, so I'll show you that. Also, just the lack of sunshine has meant that some of my plants haven't flowered this year, and which is really disappointing, but yeah, I'll show you that too. And then finally, I just haven't been able to get in the garden as much, so I'm a bit behind on some of the jobs that I would have rather have done by now. But yeah, it's not all doom and gloom. There are lots of flowers to show you, so I'm looking forward to taking you around. I'll have a bit of a chat. I'll show you what's gone wrong, what's not gone wrong. Hopefully you enjoy, and I'll see you later. Few gaps in this border due to snail activity. There should have been dahlias here, and also the salvia isn't looking as robust as it should do, so there's a bit of a gap there as well. You might remember that I hard pruned the olive tree because it was lopsided, it didn't really have a back, so I kind of wanted to even it up, and now it's it's kind of all back, so it's looking still a bit scruffy, which I was expecting, but I can see it's got new growth on the branches that I left, but also, and more importantly, at the front, all these kind of cut bits have got new sprouts coming in, so in a few more weeks, a month or so, they should be nice healthy sprouts, and then I'll be able to shape it back into the shape that I want. So yeah, I didn't kill it. I think I'm filming at a really rubbish time of day because the light just keeps kind of getting in the way, but hopefully you can see this. So next to the olive tree behind the bench, I've got Rose, Gabriel Oak I think it is, that's just starting flower now. Obviously the grasses have really come on since you've last seen them. They're putting their flower heads on, and also, and I don't know if you will remember what I said about this, the sanguisorba that I planted in here are just beginning to flower as well. So it's a tough environment here. It's there's lots of competition, so that's their first year, and I expect next year they'll probably be a bit stronger, a bit taller than that. So while some plants haven't flowered at all, other ones have decided to put on an extra flush of flower. So this begonia has flowered for a second time. I've never seen it do that before, and I suspect because it thought it was winter again with the rubbish weather that we've been having. Okay, I've come down quite low to try and avoid the direct sunlight, but hopefully be able to see this. This is the corner where the big euphorbia was, if you remember, and it's still there, putting on its growth, ready to flower next early spring. But the main thing here now is this, is this a canthus, and it's got a geranium growing up through it as well. Now I love a canthus in the right place, but this year, because it's been so wet, it has really struggled with powdery mildew. It's really not in good shape at all, so I'm just letting the flowers come out, but then I think I'm going to have to cut it right back down, just try and get rid of some of that mildew. So the meadow is now flowering, lots of oxeye daisies, lots of horseshoe vetch this year. Kind of goes through waves. Sometimes we get loads, sometimes we don't get very many at all. There was also some other vetch over here. I'm not sure what one that is, but that's kind of gone over. I've missed that because I haven't been able to get out. I think, oh, there's just one little flower there, really kind of pretty pinky purple. So I'll be honest with you, the meadow is too quiet this year. There's not enough bees, pollinators, everything else. It should be absolutely buzzing. And I don't know if the kind of cold, wet weather that we had in May has not done them any favours, but I would definitely expect, if I was sitting in here at this time of year usually, to really be able to hear just a constant buzz, and I can't. Hardy geraniums are doing pretty well this year. There is a mixture in here. I can't remember what the pink ones are called, but the purple ones at the back, the taller one, I think is Johnson's Blue, and then the slightly smaller one, smaller purple one, is Roseanne. And I think I'm actually going to put, or swap out a couple of the pink ones at this end for some more purple ones, just to try and, yeah, reduce the kind of focus on pink, which seems to be a bit of a theme in this border at the moment. So hidden in the back here is one of the things that just hasn't flowered this year. Don't know if you can see them down here. These are phlomis. They should have lovely tall flower spikes with yellow flowers going around them at this time of year, but they haven't. They are just as staying as their basal leaves at the moment. So I don't think they're going to do anything this year, but fingers crossed. They'll just be storing up some energy and they'll come back next year. The other thing that should be behind here is some dahlias. I put in some dahlia tubers, but I think they have fallen victim to the snails this year, because every time they tried to put up shoots, before I could do anything about it, yeah, the snails ate them. So no dahlias for me this year. So this very bare patch of soil contains the remains of some Rebeca that I sowed. I don't know if you can just see the little stump there. And again, that has become snail food, I'm afraid. So I do actually have some spares still in pots. So I think I will put them down here and see if they're big enough now to survive the snails. But yeah, I was really disappointed about that. So these purple flowers, I'm not sure if you can see with the light the way it is actually, light purple. They're Campanula bellflowers. They self-sown themselves in here, but they provide some nice kind of early height, so I like them anyway, so I'm leaving them. I might split the clump actually and see if I can get some to go down the other end, try and balance it up a bit. Although I think they're probably here because it's a little bit shadier than the other end. I'm not sure they'll do so well in the full sun. One of the things I like about them is that the bees use them as little overnight hotels. So I don't know if you'll be able to see in here. And they all snuggle together, which I think is really cute. quite like this little corner. So there is the purple sage in the mid-ground. At the front there's golden oregano, and then behind them is the kind of pinheads of the Santolina. Down in the wild area, you may or may not remember I moved Psychocarpus, and I was worried at the beginning of the year that it hadn't survived, but it very much has. And here it is putting on some really good strong growth. I am gonna kind of leave it to kind of fight and compete for its space in here. There's no point kind of mollycoddling it down in the wild garden. But yeah, I'm very happy with its progress. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope my moaning about the snails didn't put you off too much. And yeah, they are frustrating. And I am disappointed to have lost so many of my plants, but you know, that's gardening. And I don't use any chemicals or any other kind of methods of control. So I kind of rely on the natural ecosystem of the garden to sort it out. And usually it does. It's just that it's been so wet this year that they've just had a bit of a head start, really. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be better next year, and I'm sure it'll be better in July. So please do come back, have a look around then, and if you did enjoy the video, please do like and subscribe.